ABC 7 News at 6.
Maine Republican Representative Laurel Libby has filed a federal lawsuit against Maine House Speaker Ryan Fecteau. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Devin Dagnall.
And I'm Beth Jones. The suit comes after she says her First and 14th Amendment rights were violated when she was censured by the House. Her censure was based on a social media post she made that revealed the personally identifiable information of a high school-aged transgender athlete who had competed as a woman at a recent state competition. The House said Libby had violated the code of conduct and censured her, effectively removing her ability to speak on the floor or cast a vote. The lawsuit was filed today in the U.S. District Court for the District of Maine, and in a statement, Representative Libby said in part, quote, Speaker Fecteau and the Democrat majority are risking hundreds of millions of dollars in federal funding for our schools by stubbornly refusing to address this injustice. I have the constitutional right to speak out, and my constituents have the right to full representation in the Maine House, end quote.
An unusual sentence was handed down by a judge today in the case of Devon Carter, a man who attacked his at-the-time girlfriend with a hammer in May of 2023. The judge said aggravated attempted murder is designated as a Class A felony and carries a lengthy sentence, but not usually life. However, it can carry a life sentence if certain aggravating factors exist. The judge today ruled those factors exist and were proven beyond a reasonable doubt. He recounted the events of the incident and that the victim's injuries were, quote, extensive, severe, and horrific. The judge says he also weighed Carter's other criminal history, including the fact that Carter was already on probation for a previous domestic violence charge when he committed this offense, as well as the victim's impact statement and other, quote, significant aggravating factors. Devon Carter was sentenced to life in prison for the aggravated attempted murder charge. The prosecutor credited Maine State Police for their work in the case.
The state police did phenomenal work on this case. It was just a clean investigation from start to finish. They saved this victim's life. They really did. If not for the state police, she would not be alive today.
In addition to the life sentence, decades-long concurrent sentences were handed down on the other 3 counts Carter faced. None of the sentences are to be suspended. Lynn said she is proud of the victim for how she has managed to heal and move forward with her life.
Last year, the state began establishing public defender offices with the goal of having them help pick up some of the indigent criminal defense cases. However, some are arguing they're not taking on enough. Our Grace Blanchard explains.
As the state continues to struggle assigning lawyers to those who cannot afford them, more pressure is being placed on the recently established public defenders.
We're talking about lawyers representing people where the stakes are as high as they get.
Since last summer, District Defender Logan Perkins has been working to grow Penobscot County's first state-funded public defender's office here in Bangor.
We've seen an impact on the number of cases that don't have representation right now, and the number is going down.
According to Perkins, last fall, roughly 300 to 350 people in Penobscot County were waiting to be assigned attorneys. Today, she says that number is around 150.
We are choosing cases based on our capacity, based on the nature of the offense and the skills and experience of the available defenders, and whether or not we have a conflict of interest.
Right now, their team of 4 defenders are handling around 162 cases. The office has received pushback from the Penobscot County District Attorney's Office, who is taking on over 300 cases per prosecutor. Court documents reveal there have been multiple proceedings in which members of the DA's office have encouraged judges to directly appoint the defenders to cases.
It seems to completely defy logic to have multiple public defenders sitting here able to take the case and making Sixth Amendment arguments.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, as a factual matter, the state is in no position to comment on the public defender's office ability to take a case.
According to Perkins, they have struggled with hiring due to geographic challenges, and a number of their attorneys are relatively inexperienced with criminal defense. She also says they were established by the legislature to handle 1/3 of the indigent defendants.
We are not taking 1/3 of the cases yet, but that is the capacity we were designed to serve, not 100%, and it would be unethical and irresponsible of us to take more than we have capacity for.
In Bangor, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Senator Angus King is demanding answers about the cancellation of hundreds of contracts that support the care of veterans. At the end of February, the VA announced a list of 875 contracts that would be canceled. Less than 24 hours later, it stated they were on hold. A week later, the VA announced the cancellation of an additional 585 contracts, but King says so far they have not confirmed what contracts would be included. The only radiation safety officer at Togus VA Medical Center in Maine was included on the first list. In a letter to the Department of Veterans Affairs Secretary Doug Collins, King requested a full list of all of the canceled contracts and made it clear that arbitrary, reckless cancellations will adversely impact veteran care in Maine and across the country.
Well, Versant Power customers will be paying more for their electricity. The Maine Public Utilities Commission approved a 23.2% distribution revenue increase. For a typical customer using 500 kilowatt hours of electricity per month, that will result in an estimated $11.15 increase in their monthly bill. In a statement, PUC Commission Chair Phil Bartlett said, quote, Versant Power needs to make critical improvements to its infrastructure and operations, and it must also manage the pace of growth given concerns about affordability. Customers should expect to see significant, measurable benefits when rates go up, and we will hold the utility accountable for delivering those benefits. As part of our approval, we are requiring Versant to demonstrate improved reliability with financial penalties for failure to do so, end quote.
A settlement with a drug company will mean cheaper insulin for Mainers. Attorney General Aaron Fry announced the settlement today after scrutiny over pricing policies. Under the settlement, Mainers who are uninsured or who have commercial health insurance can purchase monthly supplies of the company's insulin products for $35 cash through 2029. To explore the possible savings through the $35 cash program, residents should ask their pharmacist when filling their prescriptions.
Well, the University of Maine system learned Monday that its funding from the U.S. Department of Agriculture has been temporarily paused. A statement set out by the university system today says an email forwarded to them directs the department's awarding agencies and staff offices to, quote, no longer issue payments or authorize any release of funding to Columbia University or the University of Maine system. The university's statement says the message goes on to say, quote, the pause is temporary in nature while the USDA evaluates if it should take any follow-on actions related to prospective Title VI or Title IX violations, end quote. Now, the statement from the University of Maine system says on February 22nd, the USDA announced it was initiating a Title IX review of UMaine, although the department alleged no actual wrongdoing by the university. According to their statement, university staff gave verbal answers and provided written responses confirming the system's athletic programs were in compliance with state and federal law. Their statement says in fiscal year 2024, the USDA awarded more than $29 million to UMaine for research that directly benefited the state's farmers, fishermen, and foresters, including research on how to mitigate the impact of PFAS contamination.
Top leaders of the University of Maine system, Maine Community College system, and Maine Maritime Academy addressed a joint session of the Maine legislature for a State of Higher Education in Maine address. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard has the story.
The state of the University of Maine system is strong and innovative.
Maine's higher education leaders addressed a joint session of the Maine legislature on Tuesday and delivered a mostly positive message, touting an increase in enrollment for in-person courses, a successful partnership between the University of Maine system and the Maine Community College system, and innovation in the face of hardships.
During the pandemic, we elected to innovate at a time of uncertainty. We created a new workforce development model, building deep, value-added partnerships with Maine businesses. This model has become a national best practice.
Despite those increases in enrollment, the three leaders urged Maine lawmakers to increase funding for Maine's higher education institutions to help with the future of Maine.
More state funding is necessary to keep pace with this unprecedented demand, and I hope you take that into consideration when you vote on our budget.
We ask that you support ongoing funding for the free college program and support increasing our base so that we can effectively compensate our employees and meet our obligations under the paid family medical leave law.
At the State House, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And let's go ahead and take this opportunity to pause and get a first check of our forecast.
All right, Beth and Devin, thank you. Happy Tuesday. Let's start here. A small craft advisory runs through tomorrow, courtesy of a gusty south wind out there now. Basically, wind gusts of 30 miles per hour throughout the day today. It will not be as windy across the region for tomorrow, but the south wind did give temperatures a boost up near 50 today here in Bangor. 48 Millinocket, 47 Bar Harbor will take it, but sharply colder temperatures are in store for us for tomorrow. Okay, so partly cloudy skies out there now. I know you see this, right? This is going to fall apart as it moves this direction tonight. So there could be a sprinkle, maybe a flurry, most likely not. Most of us will stay dry tonight into tomorrow as well. And then looking toward the west here, not much going on here for several days, followed by our next system, that one right there, that will bring us some light snow showers on Thursday afternoon. Our forecast then for tonight, though, is mostly cloudy skies, partly cloudy skies, low temperatures down near 30. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth and Devin.
ABC 7 News at 6, our Alex Schley was in Enfield to see what potential impacts Maine residents could expect from President Trump's lumber tariffs.
I slipped and fell on some ice in a parking lot.
Slip and fall? Make the call to Maine's most recognized personal injury law firm, the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
I'd recommend their services to anyone. Call Joe. It's that easy.
At US Cellular, you don't have to choose between a great deal on the phone you want and the phone plan that's right for you.
You can get both. 4 free phones of your choice and 4 lines for just $90.
Wow, kids, that's like us not having to choose between tickets to wrestling or that puppet musical.
We want a great phone and a great plan too, don't we, little guy? Totally.
Get both. 4 free phones of your choice plus 4 lines for $90. No trade-in needed. US Cellular, built for us.
Here we are, patient billing.
Whoa, who's that?
Oh, well, that's Mark. He marks up medicines.
340B medicine markups?
Bingo. As a nonprofit, we might pay a penny for a medicine. Mark marks it up to thousands of dollars, and we pocket the difference.
I hear we're buying up small hospitals, too.
More medicines to mark up.
You've probably seen us out on the roads, but there are other parts of our service territory that are much harder to reach, and we get there, whatever it takes. Keeping the power on and making improvements year-round. You can always count on the Versant Power Team out in the field and behind the scenes, providing the service required to keep life's routines running smoothly. And when our work's done, we're headed home to join our neighbors. Versant Power, powering your community.
Did he lose his shirt?
I've never seen anybody lose their shirt.
Do you think they made him pay triple?
Who's the law firm?
The law offices of Joe Bornstein. If you've been injured in an accident, call Joe.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. President Donald Trump has proposed tariffs on Canadian lumber, while the extra cost is likely to fall on consumers, and the impact on the industry, well, that remains unclear. Our Alex Schley reports.
The minute the word tariffs was mentioned, it was if the tariffs were in place. The price of building materials went up immediately.
Friday, less than 24 hours after pausing tariffs on Canada, President Donald Trump made remarks threatening Canada with a tariff of up to 250% on lumber.
Canada has been ripping us off for years on tariffs for lumber and for dairy products.
President of the Northeastern Retail Lumber Association, Rita Ferris, says these comments from the president have affected prices.
Just the talk of tariffs is having the same effect of actually having the tariffs.
Not everyone in the lumber industry, however, feels the impact of lumber prices is negative.
It's already shown to buoy prices upward, which they need to solidify a little higher than they are now.
Michael O'Brien is the general manager of Pleasant River Lumber Company in Enfield, the only company that produces framing lumber in Maine.
It's hard to compete with Crown land subsidies from the Canadian government, so they're able to buy the lion's share of their logs for a very low cost.
LeBron says a tariff on Canadian lumber would help even the playing field.
It has the potential to be very positive.
Ferris says that while long-term tariffs could benefit the lumber industry, the looming threat of tariffs, accompanied by lack of action, is creating instability in the market.
The con is the pain that we're in right now because of the pricing instability, and it's a lot of pain. It's the hope of our industry that the president can negotiate a good deal and we can get some kind of an agreement in place that will provide pricing stability, at least for the short term.
Ferris says without stable prices, it makes it difficult for those in the lumber industry to conduct business. In Enfield, I'm Alex Lai for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Still to come on ABC7 News at 6, our Jody Hersey talked with a local resident who's doing everything in his power to bring a medical practice to his town.
And in sports, it is playoff time. Maine men's hockey awaits their opponent in the Hockey East semifinals. We'll have that story after the break.
Maine traditions you gotta do. Catch a sunrise from atop Cadillac Mountain, dig into baked beans at a community supper, and visit the Eastern Maine Sportsman's Show. Make plans now for the 85th Eastern Maine Sportsman's Show at the University of Maine in Orono, March 14th to 16th. Come see all kinds of exhibitors and programs from archery to fly tying to hunting to fishing. Everything you need to enjoy Maine and the outdoors is at the Eastern Maine Sportsman's Show, March 14th through 16th at UMaine Orono. Make it your Maine tradition.
When it comes to your home, go to the source. Go to R&B's Home Source in Madison. R&B's Home Source has home comfort, convenience, and savings all wrapped up in one location. From the living room to the dining room to the bedroom, we have some of the best values in furniture and bedding. For the kitchen, R&B's Home Source has top-notch appliances from fridges to ranges, even washers and dryers. And sit back and relax with quality electronics. We service everything we sell too. For your home, go to the source. R&B's Home Source, Lakewood Road, Madison.
All across our state, American-made clean energy has created over 2,400 good-paying jobs while lowering energy costs for Mainers. Farmers across the state are earning millions in income through long-term land leases from clean energy projects. Homegrown power from wind and solar are driving American energy dominance and powering our future. Maine wins with clean energy. Call Senator Collins and thank her for supporting an all-of-the-above energy strategy that creates jobs in our state.
The Maine Science Festival has been showcasing the incredible science happening in Maine for 10 years. From the depths of the oceans to the vastness of space, the Maine Science Festival is the best place for people of all ages to learn about how Maine scientists are leading the way. With 5 days of forums, workshops, and hands-on fun, there's truly something for everyone. And thanks to our sponsors, admission is free. The Maine Science Festival. Learn more at mainsciencefestival.org.
Put a little more cash in your bank. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
They're making it rain in Foxborough. Welcome back in, folks. Thanks for staying with us. The NFL's legal tampering period opened on Monday, and the Patriots are spending some serious money. Mike Vrabel establishing his identity with some of these early signings. Robert Spillane coming over from the Raiders, who got his start under Vrabel in Tennessee. They also bring in cornerback Carlton Davis from the Lions, one of the premier corners in this free agency class. And then the big one, former Eagles defensive tackle Milton Williams. They backed up the Brinks truck for him, sending him at $104 million over the course of 4 years. He was a massive part of the Eagles' pressure on Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Patriots also bringing in a few solid offensive starters in Morgan Moses from the Jets to anchor that right side of the line at right tackle, along with wide receiver Mac Hollins from the Bills. The Patriots kicked it off this weekend, bringing in Harold Landry, re-signing Austin Hooper, and late on Monday they agreed to bring in the Pastronaut Joshua Dobbs to back up Drake May. Keep in mind, none of these deals can be officially signed until 4 p.m. on Wednesday when the new league year begins. Maine hockey fans got a taste of the postseason success last year, but they've been counting down the days ever since. Well, it's finally time for some playoff hockey for the Black Bears. The fourth-ranked Black Bears wrapped up the regular season with some adversity, though. A two-game series at UMass saw the Black Bears fall 5-1 on Friday, along with erasing a third-period deficit and coming back to win in a shootout on Saturday. Not exactly how Maine wanted to end the regular season, but with the Hockey East quarterfinals on Saturday, there's no time to dwell on it.
You know, our guys have a lot of resilience to find a way to come back and tie that game and, you know, win in a shootout. So
that was a good sign. But we got to find our game again. We got to find our desperation and the identity of our team, and that's really just about being aggressive and playing an in-your-face kind of game. And we got that given to us a little bit last week, and we got to get better from it.
Maine holds the 2 seed in the Hockey East playoffs. They'll take on UMass Lowell, Merrimack, or Northeastern, depending on how Wednesday's opening round games shake out. Maine trounced rival UNH 5-0 in last year's Hockey East quarterfinal, so they know what it takes to win a playoff game in the Alfond.
You just got to go out there and keep it simple. The game's going to be coming at you fast. Bodies are going to be thrown all around. There's not going to be any space, so it's all about limiting mistakes. And then when you get your chance, you gotta be able to bury. So it's playoff hockey is what you dream for. It's what you work for all year long, and it's that opportunity that we're all so fired up about.
No matter the opponent, that'll be a 6 p.m. puck drop in the Alfond on Saturday night. That is all the time we have for sports. Here's your full 5-day forecast.
All right, Jack, thank you. Happy Tuesday. Let's start here. Sharply colder conditions across the region for tomorrow. Then some snow, a little bit of snow, less than an inch, of course, across the area on Thursday. And then a warmer weekend, and all of next week looks warmer as well. We could do some temperatures back in the 50s to low 60s around here. For today, though, our favorite, a small craft advisory out there. Onshore winds all day long, giving us wave heights of 5 to 10 feet just offshore. The winds will begin to shift tonight, though. Right now, gusting near 25 to 30. It'll shift out of the northwesterly overnight tonight, and that's going to bring us those colder temperatures throughout the day tomorrow. Right now, though, it's comfy, right? 49 here in Bangor, 48, Millinocket, 46 for Greenville. We'll take it, but there is colder temperatures right over here. That's moving our direction for tomorrow. We'll likely hold high temperatures tomorrow in the 30s across the area, and we are the kind of the cool kids again. Look at all the heat across the plains right now. Dallas at 80, Little Rock at 80. Meanwhile, Pickle Lake's at 6. Here's winter, here's summer. In between, you kind of fight it out. There is a storm system across the Midwest right now that could likely bring us a bit of snow shower activity on Thursday afternoon. But until then, though, warmer temperatures are expected for the weekend and through much of next week. So here we go. Above average temperatures for next week around here. I have not said that for a while, right? But that could mean as we push that southwest wind over our snowpack out there as well, we could see some dense fog out there over the weekend and through much of next week as well. All right, satellite picture shows lots of partly cloudy skies across the area for today, but I know your eye is going right there. That is a front. That's a cold front coming our direction. It is falling apart as it does so. So this looks impressive on radar. It's really not. There could be a sprinkle or a flurry tonight. Most of us will stay dry. This will not be a big deal at all. That quickly gets out of here by tomorrow morning, and then high pressure builds in for a day or two. This little system right there, that could bring us a few light snow showers on Thursday. And then this is the big storm system there, now onshore in Southern California. We'll move into the Midwest tomorrow, and then make a beeline for Minneapolis or so, and then push a front our direction later on in the weekend. That will bring us some rain showers late Sunday into Monday of next week. This thing's gonna be business too. This is gonna be a bomb cyclone across the Midwest, which could mean really low pressure and a lot of wind. For us, though, here we are, some light snow showers out there tonight, most likely not. Then we'll get a break in the action for a day or two, a couple of snow showers on Thursday, not a big deal. And then a break for Friday into Saturday and Sunday, followed by, here's the return of some light rain showers on Sunday into Monday, turning into heavier rain showers on Monday afternoon. And then we are done with that for a while. So here we are heading into the weekend with warmer temperatures next week. Our forecast then for tonight, though, is decreasing clouds, still windy, low temperatures down near 18. For tomorrow, partly cloudy, still breezy, highs colder near 35. Then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows up and down temperatures. There's the weekend with temperatures in the 50s.
Thanks, Jeff. Still more to come right after the break.
For great Toyota offers not seen on TV, you could type buyatoyota.com into your browser, or you could simply scan this QR code and give your fingers a break. Buyatoyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals. Toyota, let's go places.
Pregnant again at 19. I was in an abusive relationship and felt that I couldn't raise 2 children alone. So I took the first abortion pill and immediately knew that I had made the worst decision. I frantically searched for answers and found abortionpillreversal.com. I was referred to a doctor who began treatments that reversed my abortion. There's help for you too. It is not too late to save your baby.
Here at Twin City Tire and Service, you will be working with industry professionals. We have ASE certified master technicians and certified tire and lube technicians. If we need your vehicle for a duration of time, we offer a complimentary shuttle service and can even offer a loaner vehicle. Being a client at Twin City Tire and Service means that we will treat you right. This includes a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on mechanical repairs. We also provide you with 1 year of complimentary roadside assistance. Come see us today at Twin City Tire and Service in Brewer.
Maine weather is unpredictable. Don't get caught in the dark. NextGen Electrical provides full standby Generac generator installation, including propane and electrical setup, so your home stays powered no matter the weather. And with 0% interest for 18 months, reliable backup power has never been more affordable. We also handle all wiring projects, new construction, renovations, and more. From backup power to full electrical solutions, trust NextGen Electrical to get the job done right. Call NextGen Electrical today and power up with confidence.
Join America's favorite game.
You never know what's going to happen.
For the I can't believe this, and always for the unexpected.
Treat yourself a round of sausage.
That's not it, but thank you.
Weekdays at 7 on ABC 7.
A Dexter resident and business owner is doing what he can to get a nurse practitioner, a physician's assistant, or a doctor to set up a medical practice in that town. Our Jody Hersey explains.
When Northern Light closed its Dexter Healthcare office on High Street in 2024, hundreds of patients were forced to seek medical care at either Hometown Healthcare in Dexter or travel to other Northern Light facilities outside of the area.
We only have Hometown Healthcare, and they're limited. So really, now you have to go to Corinth, Greenville, Dover. There is a practice in Northern Light does have a small office in Sangerville, but it's just difficult for people to get around, and elderly, and in the winter.
But Frank Spizzuco, who owns the 4,800 square foot 2-story building that Northern Light once operated out of, would like to change that. Spizzuco says the need for medical care is so great in the Dexter area, he's willing to help any medical professional who's looking to branch out on their own by offering them this building rent-free for the first year.
I can partner with them on a build-out and build out the building the way that it needs to be to get them going and help offset startup costs.
He even posted his generous offer on social media and shared that he'd also pay a $1,000 reward to the individual who helps find a physician willing to move and work here.
There's been a few people, but not in the medical industry. It's more therapeutic type counseling.
Dexter's town manager, Trampus King, thinks Spizzuco has a great idea.
As we know, taxes keep going up and stuff, and we just can't afford to do things. And to have a resident like Frank step up and take this opportunity to offer this to somebody is amazing, and we're very thankful for that.
In Dexter, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
That is really a tremendous offer from that, from that property owner to be willing to do that. But it's also really a testament to just how severe some of the healthcare deserts are in the state of Maine, and how that really just adversely impacts so many people. It's a ripple effect when a place closes.
Absolutely. If somebody can't get the care they need and then they have to travel, that might stop them from getting that care. So getting this help, it can mean a big difference for a town like that.
It keeps, small health problems small as opposed to them getting out of control because they're not attended to.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, folks. Well, that is going to do it for us from everyone here at ABC 7 News. Take care and have a great night.
And for more of your local news, you can join us over on Fox 22 News Tonight at 6:30.
Tonight, rising prices, tariff uncertainty, the state of the economy, where things stand. Plus, tracking the measles cases across the U.S. World News Tonight.
20 years old? You have pictures of the car?
I do.
I'd like to see it.
It used to be nice. This is what it looks like now.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. We're finished. Thank you.
Step out. Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
My opinion's the only one that counts.
Before I hit it, all I could think of was...
I was concerned about him first, but yes.
Is this, like, am I going to die or am I going to be okay? Or
he was a pretty big man, so...
When the paramedics got on the scene, they spent like 20 minutes or so.
I thought, well, better go see if there's any damage. And
looking at me and analyzing, like, the damage that I did to my body.
There was a lot.
And then they strapped me to a gurney and took me over to the Sacred Heart Hospital in Spokane.
Slow down on your skateboard and have control. He used my Bronco for a brake.
I'm glad it's over with. I think that this is the best way it could get worked out.
This is Fox 22 News Tonight.
Maine Republican Representative Laurel Libby has filed a federal lawsuit against Maine House Speaker Ryan Facto. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Devin Dagnall.
And I'm Beth Jones. That suit comes after she says her First and 14th Amendment rights were violated when she was censured by the House. Her censure was based on a social media post she made that revealed the personally identifiable information of a high school-aged transgender athlete who had competed as a woman at a recent state competition. The House said Libby had violated the code of conduct and censured her, effectively removing her ability to speak on the floor or cast a vote. The lawsuit was filed today in the U.S. District Court for the District of Maine, and in a statement, Representative Libby said in part, quote, Speaker Facto and the Democrat majority are risking hundreds of millions of dollars in federal